We're back with another installment from J.Varizzle the Fisher, kayak fishing in southeastern North Carolina and more. Today is going to be the and more portion of that because we're not going to be putting in the kayak today. Today I'm actually going to do a little retention pond fishing. So what a lot of people don't understand or don't realize is that pretty much every retention pond, at least in southeastern North Carolina, as long as it's been there for a year or so, or at least more than a year, it's probably going to have fish in it. You know, largemouth bass, brim, crappie, maybe even catfish here or there. But if it's a retention pond, more than likely it's got fish. A lot of times the neighborhood retention ponds, like if you live in a neighborhood that has retention ponds in it, part of the HOA bylaws a lot of times stipulates that they have to actually be stocked. Fish are great to keep down the insect population in the area of the retention pond and make sure the bacteria is neutralized, make sure the algae doesn't get overgrown. So if you have a retention pond in your neighborhood, you actually want fish in it. But not every retention pond is stocked. However, most of them are probably holding fish. Like I said, if they've been there for a little while, they got some fish in them. And you might ask why, like how does this happen? Well, if you're familiar with your Jurassic Park series, nature has a way, right? So if you think about, the two things I think about is birds and frogs. So birds are not stationary to one pond. You know, they're not territorial to one area. They're going to go pond to pond. They're going to go area to area and try to find food. So bird may be in pond A and picking up some food source or whatever, and then decide he's going to migrate over to pond B, and when he does, he'll carry fish eggs either on his legs or in his feathers or on his beak or whatever. So he'll go to pond B and then deposit those fish eggs in pond B, and those eggs will eventually hatch and they'll turn into fry and they'll grow up and then they'll mate and start spawning. And that's how a lot of times your retention ponds get populated, even if they haven't been stocked. The other way is frogs. So frogs may be territorial to a certain area, but if the population gets too high, if there's too many frogs in one area and Mr. Frog's not getting enough food, he's going to decide that he wants to migrate as well to a different area, to a different pond to get a better food source. So if he's hungry and he can't find anything to eat because he's trying to compete with all these other frogs, he's going to hop over to pond B, and same concept. He's going to carry with him fish eggs on his body, his legs, and then deposit those fish eggs in pond B, and then again they'll hatch into fry and then grow up, mate, spawn, and create more fish. So if it's a retention pond that's been around for 4 or 5 years or so, it's well established, there's a good chance it's holding some decent fish in it. I myself have caught a 4-pound largemouth, or maybe a little bit better than 4-pound, in a retention pond of a neighborhood. And I have friends that have caught 5, 6, even 7-pound largemouth bass out of a neighborhood retention pond. And a lot of people are like, how do they get there? You know, that's how. And especially if they don't have if it's not overfished, they don't have a lot of competition, then they can actually grow up to be some pretty big monsters. Now today, we're fishing at a spot that I like to call Hidden Pond. And it's one that I found a while back, and I've fished it several times, and I don't catch huge fish here usually, and a lot of times it's hit or miss whether I'm catching good or not. But I figure I'll go ahead and throw a line in here and see what we can pick up on. It's a nice evening. You know, it's after 7 o'clock. It's starting to cool down a little bit. And we'll see what we got. We'll see what our odds are. All right, y'all. I can assure you can probably hear all these frogs chirping. This is a pretty secluded area. There's a large frog population. There's some turtles. Some of it's very grassy, as you can probably see. And we're going to be using the silver number 7 floating minnow Rapala. We're going to see what we can snag on that bad boy, if anything. sit for a sec. Oh, there we go. Look at that. There we go. Come on. Oh, he came off. I can't believe it. Only because I'm recording. That's why. Any other time I would have caught that bad boy. Go back out there and see what happens. Switch up a little bit and off this direction. See if maybe I can't get into something over there. Pond's nice and calm today. Hopefully I set him. Come on in. And there you have it. Some retention pond bass fishing right there. J.Varizzle the fisher. Alright, we're going to go ahead and release this guy. Let him get on about his merry way. But all in all, not a bad little catch. And he gone. Just wanted to give you a little overview kind of what we're fishing, what I was talking about with the old hidden pond out here. It's not huge, but you can see, I mean, it's got plenty of places for fish to lay up. There's not a lot of places to fish this from the bank, and that's one of the issues that I have. There's only a couple spots where you can really access it and try to fish it, and this spot that I'm in right now is the best, but I got a feeling that there's a lot of fish held up in that cove over there. I just can't get to it, but that's what you got to contend with. Just for fun, I switched up to this thing. It's called a whopper plopper, and I've never used it before. That's really the first time I've ever pulled it out of the box, and I really just want to see the action on it. I don't have any illusions that I'm going to catch any fish on this thing, because I'm going to tell you, it's huge. It's big for these bass that are in this pond here, but I just want to see the action on it, and I'll show you guys the action on it. The old whopper plopper. I've got like 5 different ones in there, different colorations, but this one just simulates just a standard minnow. Alright, we're going to toss the whopper plopper here and just see what the action looks like. Let me throw the head cam on. Hopefully the head cam's on. Oh, good gosh. So it's a floater, top water. We'll let it sit there for a second because that made a pretty big splash. And then we'll see what the action looks like on this thing. You can see it churns water as it comes. Like I said, I don't have any illusions that I'm going to catch anything on this thing. Not in this pond anyway. But I'm sure there's plenty of ponds out there where, or maybe even in the river or a bigger lake or somewhere where you've got some more area to cover. But I just wanted to see what the action was on this here whopper plopper. Look at that thing. Reel it, let it sit. Reel it, let it sit. Whopper plopper. All right, so we're all done with the whopper plopper there, playing around with that. I threw on a really big Rapala, minnow colored, not the shiny silver, a little bit different, and it's I think it's a size 9 instead of a size 7, which 7's my personal preference. 5's a little small. I think 9's going to be a little big, but we'll see. Ooh, look at that right there. Whoa. Right at the bank. Did y'all see that? I hope you saw it. I don't want to get hooked myself because he's a little feisty. There he is right there. Look at that. Just a little guy. And I might bust out the pliers for this one. Please don't shake. I don't want to get stabbed. Give me some slack there. Right there at the bank, he took it. I love it. Love it. Yeah, he came off. He's going to put himself back in the water. Maybe. There you go. He got it. He's good. I'll make sure he gets underway. Well, that fish went back in the water himself. I ended up having to make a little hole for him in the reeds with a stick that I had to grab from over here. But he's back underway. He's good to go now. So we're at no risk of losing that one. Just took a little time, took a little task to get him back going. But right there at the bank, I love that bank action. Hit a size 11 minnow colored Rapala. I mean, he was a little guy too. He wasn't that big. The bait was like half the size he was, and he was still going after it. So you never know. Well, since that worked, we're gonna try it again. Throw that number 9. Sorry, not number 11. Number 9 Rapala. What you didn't see on camera was me slipping and falling, hopefully. Oh, there we go. He's on. Yep. Got him. So, not huge, but not bad either. Let me get my pliers out here and I'll lip him and get rid of him. Yep, he's not done yet. Still got some energy in him. He's trying to get off. That natural instinct. All right. Well, he's a little dirty now, but there he is. Not bad fish. Make sure he gets out there this time. There you go. Good toss, and he's away. Shoot, I'm just gonna keep going at it with this Rapala then. This number 9 minnow colored Rapala. They seem to like that. Get all untangled here. Well, that wraps up another episode. We actually caught some fish this time. I have no idea what I got on camera, but I tried a tripod stand and I tried the chest mount for a little while. I tried the head cam. I have no idea. We'll see how it comes out in editing. But thanks for watching J.Varizzle the Fisher. This is Justin, and this fishing adventure is over. I'm out.